What is up, Earthnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode, we have reached the penultimate episode of Mobile Suit Gundam 0083 Rebellion. Last time, Ko used the Stamen with the weapon systems to defeat Gato in the New Zeal, but he kept Gato alive. Also, the colony is making its way through the Earth atmosphere as we learn of its true target, North America. In this episode, the Gundam and the Albion will crash land on Earth. Bask will take Ko and Captain Synapse as prisoner, and Tanya and Alice Miller try to solve this conspiracy. So let's get into this. Ko is riding on top of the Komsai as Captain Maywest makes his escape from the colony breaking apart. Jaburo receives word that no pieces of the colony will hit their location. They laugh at Zeon for failing a second colony drop, but Cohen laughs at EFF for failing to see this coming and remaining stagnant. Alice Miller is mad that Zeon would cross this line, though her blame should be on O'Sullivan and Anaheim. She just doesn't know it yet. The biggest chunk of the colony makes contact with North America. For the second time, a colony hits Earth. Paula runs into Lucette and Tanya. She rushed out here because she wanted to get a message to Nina, a message left by Gato. The Axis fleet sees the light from the colony go up. They depart from the Earth sphere. There is extensive damage on the planet, but Bask says, "Not my problem, bitches." They get word of a surviving ship. It is the Albion. They were able to navigate out of the colony and crash land on Earth with everyone safe. Mad props to... Hold on. He has a name, I'm certain. Oh, Lieutenant Passaroff. What an amazing helmsman. Keith is worried about Ko, but Synapse calms his nerves. As they crash land, they get a message telling them to cease operations and surrender. They are suspected of disobeying orders and working with the enemy. Also somewhere on Earth, the Komsai crash lands. Alice Miller contacts Synapse and informs him of the damage done by the colony drop. Cohen is confined to his quarters at Jaburo and is taking the blame for the incident. They are also trying to place the blame on the Albion crew as well. Synapse won't allow his men to be branded as traitors. Miller says if this goes to tribunal, she as an investigator has to remain neutral. She heads out into space for an investigation. They haven't received a beacon since the drop, so they assume that Ko and the Gundam are destroyed. The military police will come to apprehend the Albion crew. Alice Miller assumes they are after the Gundam data. Before she can finish, her connection with the ship is cut off. Gunperries begin swarming on their location. The military police assume control under Command Joint Headquarters. They blame the Albion crew because the Gundam hitched a ride with the Komsai. Alice Miller gets in contact with O'Sullivan. He is willing to give up intel on the backdoor dealings between Chima and Bask in exchange for his safety. Somewhere on Earth, a core booster spots the downed Komsai. This core booster has the fattest butt I've seen on a core booster. Some artist out there likes it thick. They inform the military police that it appears the Gundam and those on board fled in different directions. Keith wants to go out to search for Ko, but Synapse is no longer in charge. The MPs allow him, along with Moncha, Chap, and Alpha, to go with him. However, they can't bring any weapons. Moncha thinks this is a good opportunity to clear their names of treason. They think that Gato is amongst those who fled. It is clear to Synapse that they are going to recover the Gundam so they could alter the Gundam's data and further blame them. The three Mobile Suit pilots find the Komsai abandoned. Above them is a dish, aka the flying turtle, and it spots the Gundam and gives them their location. Moncha doesn't care about Ko. He notices the tracks to the Komsai are all fake and that they probably used hover trucks to escape. The Federation swarm the Gundam and Ko. As they apprehend him, the Gundam goes up in flames. The Flying Turtle confirms that the fire was just damage from re-entry. They want to know where the Komsai crew is, but he tells them that he just used them as a surfboard during re-entry. Keith comes in and tells them not to treat a fellow EFF soldier like that, but they instantly surround him, not hesitating to kill him if needed. Ko gets him to back down. He informs the MPs that he took down Gato. Meanwhile, Moncha and the others find a hover truck, but it is just civilians. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of hover trucks in the area as they are near a colony drop evacuation point. They run into the evacuation point commander, who informs them that the 206 Tank Company ran into a group of Zeon Remnant mobile suits. The three ask the base to supply them with weapons so they could pursue Gato. Alice Miller makes it to Von Braun, but she is too late. By the time she arrived on the scene, O'Sullivan was already dead. The local police believe that this is a standard suicide. Miller has seen corruption at the Federation before, but nothing about this seems right, and she believes that this might be due to some internal struggle over at Anaheim Electronics. Back on Earth, Moncha and the gang find the local Zeon Remnant group. They don't appear to be the ones involved with the Komsai, but now they have to deal with these guys. Meanwhile, Nina and Maywest were indeed fleeing from the Komsai. She is planning on getting back to space ASAP so she could help Kelly get back home. Moncha, Chap, and Alpha tear through the Zeon Remnant group. It was fruitless as they had nothing to do with Gato. Keith runs back to the Albion. Mora informs him that they detained Captain Synapse as well. They wonder what will happen to him and the crew as they are currently sitting ducks. On the news, the Federation's official stance on the colony drop is that it was human error. But many believe that Xeon Remnant activities are getting out of hand and must be stopped at all cost. It has been 1 month since the colony drop. Kelly and Nina are still laying low. He shouldn't be up as he is still recovering from his gunshot wounds. They wonder if Gato is dead. While the Comsci was re-entering Earth's atmosphere, Gato's capsule flung out of Ko's hands, and soon the Gundam was also swept up in re-entry. They have no idea if either of them is alive or dead. Captain Maywas has intel on food supplies being dropped down by HLVs. They might be able to stow away on one. However, Kelly doesn't seem ready to return to space. Somewhere on Earth, Tanya comes to interrogate Ko. She informs him that he has been demoted back down to ensign, but he doesn't seem to care. The Federation was after the black box on board the Gundam to give them potential leads on where the Xeon remnants fled to, but it was destroyed, which can only be manually triggered. Ko says that he killed Gato and that he didn't trigger anything. Tanya then changes the subject and wonders if Nina was on the colony. He is silent. She says she will try again another time. He lets him know that everyone on the Albion, except for Captain Synapse, have been acquitted of any crimes. She and Alice Miller are trying their best to help them, but Ko says that they will never come out and admit that, knowing Tanya and Miller's position as investigators. Near the moon is a public corporation station for long-term travel to Jupiter. Alice Miller lands. As this is a neutral area, Miller must give up her sidearm before entering. She makes a comment about how they are more neutral than Side 6. Ooh, suck it, Side 6. At the docking station, she happens to run into Chima, who is still alive. Alice Miller followed O'Sullivan's money trail. After his death, there was a big purchase of a Jupiter's-class ship, something that even O'Sullivan can't accomplish with his wealth and power. To top it all off, the entire crew is clearly a bunch of criminals with fake IDs. Miller believes that Chima's Gerbera Tetra was unmanned when Bask took it down. The crew of the Jupiter's is Chima's remaining crew, including Clara and Coxel. I understand how Clara survived, but how did Coxel survive that blast? Could you imagine dying and being called Coxel? Well, good for him. Chima denies all claims, of course, and tells her that her name is Ephemera Hunt. Of course, there is nothing that Miller could really do at this point, except to plead with her to stay and testify against Bask. She is literally the only person that could testify against Bask. She drops all pretenses about being someone else, and laughs at the idea that they need help from the enemy. Chima tells her that Gato's mobile armor was given permission to get engineering upgrades at Levian Rose, and during this adventure, Karina Haxel became allies with Axis. The reason O'Sullivan was director was due to his relationship with Xeon. Xeon is no more, but Axis will one day rise. Out with the old and in with the new. Having ties to Axis is more beneficial for Anaheim Electronics. Chima tells her to visit Haxel. Chima says that she will never come back to the Earth sphere. Meanwhile, as the Axis fleet heads back to Axis, they inform Haxel that they look forward to their new business arrangement. Haxel's assistant informs her that a Federation investigator would like to see her. She tells her assistant to schedule a meeting with her never. She hopes that Nina makes it back from Earth in one piece. Nina, Mae West, and Kelly launch from Earth on an HLV. Kelly is sad about leaving his true lover Gato on Earth. But Mae West tells him that Operation Stardust was a success. A goal of war is to win and to return home. He says that if you believe in Gato, then believe that he will return when the time is right, just as Delaz waited patiently for Operation Stardust. Nina says that she is going to do that as well. She put her heart into the Gundam and will continue to do so. Alice Miller is mad and ready to head directly to Anaheim Electronics headquarters, but she receives word from the top brass that she is to end her investigation. She wonders why EFF is looking out for private companies now. They also get word on Synapse. Tanya informs Ko that Captain Synapse has been executed. Miller was working to exonerate him, but it seems they weren't quick enough. He was killed by firing squad with no appeal. Tanya shows him a live broadcast of Bask giving a speech about the creation of the Titans. She says that this is the man who killed Synapse, but says that he seems to be working for someone else. They don't know it is Jamatov. Most of the Albion crew have been assigned to the Titans, since they know everything that happened during Operation Stardust. They're going to keep a close eye on them. Keith and Mora refuse to join and will most likely be demoted because of it. Like the anime, Monsha, Chap, and Alpha, now Titans members, look at the new Jim Quell. Monsha is determined to take down Gato with this mobile suit. Tanya tells him that she knows that he won't say anything about Gato to protect Nina. She wonders if he is sure that she is worth it, considering what happened to Synapse. At least half the Gundam fan base is thinking, yeah man, you sure about this? He says that he has nothing to lose. The next day, Ko stands trial. as Bask is the frontman in all of this. Jamatov has just been promoted to Rear Admiral, leaving the two of them with a hefty chunk of the Federation's force. They begin their purge on the Xeon remnants. Alice Miller informs Cohen of the Titans. He has been completely stripped of his rank, but is alive, unlike Synapse. She gets a call from Tanya informing her that Nakato and the Titans have been ordered to delete all data regarding the Gundam development project. They have no need for one mighty mobile suit, as their strength lies in numbers. Jamatov has closed off every avenue for Miller to take, but she realizes a new option. She contacts Tanya and tells her to allow them to delete all the data on the Gundam development project. She asks what happened to Ko. Tanya tells her that he is serving 1 year in prison, but he is most likely going to be in jail forever on trumped-up charges. She says if they erase the data on the Gundam, then they erase Ko's charges against him. They need to get ahead of this loophole and get Ko out before the Titans realize their mistake. She says that Ko might be one of the best pilots, but he is not cut out for the politics of the military. She says the same could be said for most Gundam pilots. Nina is leaving for a top-secret project when she is met by Paula. She says goodbye to her and gives her Haro, letting her know there is a message from Gato. The two say their goodbyes and depart. Ko is released from prison. Like the anime, he meets up with Keith, who is gelgooging it up. However, unlike the anime, Nina is not there to greet him, only Moira. She welcomes him back. Keith has been relegated to moving colony debris. She never would have thought that he would return and be without Nina. He says Nina is on her own path. On a shuttle, Nina listens to Gato's message. He tells her that he must leave because if he stays, he knows that she will get involved in his sins and he doesn't want her to. She says that it wasn't just his battle to begin with. On a Dogo Skiar ship, the Immortal Fourth launches and their new Jim Quells. On the moon, Kelly is finally reunited with Lautera and his new child. Dude, hold the baby with both hands. Oh. Back on Earth, Keith and Ko finally became test pilots once again. They are testing out the brand new Hyzax. He wonders how many colony drops will humanity have to endure before they finally understand one another. Keith wonders if Ko wants to quit the military. He says he doesn't know yet, but for now, he's good. And that will conclude 0083 Rebellion, Stardust Memory, and Ko's story. However, this isn't the end of the manga, and we still have 2 more volumes to go. We covered 30 chapters and only 3 episodes because a lot of it was action, so be sure to go check out the artwork, as I didn't do it justice. The crazy part about this version is that it seems Bask is the frontman in all of this. Say if this didn't work and Bask was exposed, I believe Jamatov's hands would be free of this situation, most likely leaving him to find a new Sith apprentice and do this all over again. Nina's story makes so much more sense and serves a greater purpose, but that doesn't make her any less crazy. Also praise the gods, as the best girl Lucette doesn't die in this version. Next time we will follow Monsha as he helps a Spacenoid, and he learns a lesson after the manga is pretty much over, and a man claiming to be Gato rises up against EFF once again. But that'll do it for now, new types. Remember, you don't always get the girl at the end. Sometimes they become terrorists. Peace.